Hello gamers. Let me just break down what we're going to be doing today, because first I want to be doing some bounties for him to try and get some more cash, also get the reputation up, although I think it's high enough by now that we can get the unique bounty, which we might be able to do at this point, even though the fleet is not fully decked out with S mods and all of that. We've got most of our S mods. We've got level 7 officers in the Paragons, so we're looking pretty good overall. It might actually be doable. We've got Omega weapons. In fact, I could probably stand to use a few more of the Omega weapons, so I'll be looking through those, but yeah, we're pretty close to just being able to do that. Now, the reason I need cash is because I want to get this Hypershunt online, and someone actually had a really good idea, which is I don't need to have enough atlases to actually carry all of the material. I just need to have a few atlases, and then I can dump the materials into space and set them to a stable orbit, which is a mechanic that I tend to forget about. But that's actually a really good idea, because I can bring over half the materials, set them in stable orbit, go back home, pick up the remaining materials, come back, pick up the ones in stable orbit, and that'll temporarily put you way over your limit, but because it's a soft cap, and you're just going to put them in an orbit really close to the Hypershunt tap, you're fine. You can do that. So that's a really good idea. Now, you do still need to have, like, half the materials, or, like, half the capacity, because you know, the further you go over, the more your speed gets reduced. I assume there's eventually a hard limit. Now, man, I got a new mouse. Hooray. And I want to complain about it because my old mouse had, like, the number buttons on the side, so I could press them with my thumb, and I got way too used to doing that. So now I have to get used to the fact that I can't do that. But on the flip side, this one is new and fresh and actually works, so I can click things and it doesn't double click. Look at this. Wow, incredible. It didn't put it back by itself. Isn't that amazing? It's truly something special. Okay. So we're just going to go talk to our friend. And if we can find... I should be on the lookout for this. Because I still... I need to buy a ton of... It's mostly the transphotonics that are going to cost a lot. The regular metals, not too bad. The transphotonics, they're going to cost a lot. Now, that being said, it would be nice if you could take them separately. So I think right now you do need to have all the metals all at once in order to activate the thing. But it would be nice if, for example, you could deliver the metals and deliver the transphotonics separately. That would make things a little bit easier. There we go. And yeah, there goes all my cash. Alright. Give me... No, you are at the other one. My bad. Yeah, whatever. You ain't got nothing on me. So I'll probably have to go home to deliver all this crap first, but then we're gonna go do whatever mission we get. Have any work for me? Bounty docket. Challenging target. 450,000. This one requires some discretion. A fleet of remnant drone warships was spotted in the Alpha Kosambi Nebula, only 20 light years from here. These things are left over from one of the AI wars. Some pencil neck decided they weren't worth the cost of cleaning up. But this fleet is more active than usual, so there's been some concern from up the chain of command. Way up. Whatever they're up to, some important people will sleep better if it's stopped. The reward is 720,000 credits. Higher than normal, both for the hazard and for your discretion. Command wants this done within 120 days. Yeah, I think I'll take that one. That's some pretty good cash. Yeah. I love how it's so bizarre how the more manageable target, or rather, the sometimes asking whatever you've got gives you a harder target than asking specifically for a hard target. It's a bit strange. But yeah, we can do that, of course. It's just a few remnants. Ain't no big thing. First, we gotta go home. We gotta go home. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up clicking these buttons instead of reaching further on my keyboard. Having these just on the mouse is so convenient. Every mouse should have that. I mean, it's not like your thumb's doing anything else, you know? Might as well put some buttons there. But, unfortunately, that is not the reality we live in. Well, that helps. Alright. Storage time. And we do have a fair number of Omega weapons, so I'll be looking at those. Hey, look at that. We do have 25,000 medals. In fact, we have a little bit more. We only need... Wait, don't we only need 20,000? Am I... Wait a minute. Isn't it 20,000? Do I have more medals than I need? Did I make a mistake? Yeah, that's fine. I'll just double check that before we start carrying things. This is what we need to buy a lot more of, because we do need 5,000. Yeah, it's 20,000 because it's a total of 25,000. This is 5,000. This is, say, that's a lot of extra metals, huh? Well, I'm just gonna leave those there. It's no big deal. Okay, I need that. And now we can start looking at some of these Omega weapons. Oh. 2 reality disruptors, 1 volatile particle driver. Now, reality disruptors are really good. Here's the thing. One way to build this would be reality disruptor, volatile particle driver, and then you have otherwise more or less the same. The thing is, for this, you definitely... Actually, you would want auto lances here, and then you would S-mod expanded magazines. So now you've got this thing disables the enemy ship. This thing by itself, with S-modded magazines, of course, will just absolutely shred shields, especially now that it's been buffed. 0.67 efficiency and 1,000 range. Sure, at long ranges, a lot of those shots disappear, but it ends up not mattering. It really doesn't once you've got S-modded expanded magazines. This thing is... It just doesn't matter. It does very, very good damage against shields. So then you've got the 2 tachyon lances to strip off armor and dump them. Well, I mean, the EMP part's not that important because you've got a reality disruptor. So if you get a rift, like the rift cascade emitter, you know, the other beam, you would want to use that. Right? Because it trades out. It loses the EMP but gains a lot more damage thanks to its little reality disruption explosion. I don't remember what they're called. They're like little rift thingies that pop on the enemy shields. That thing. That would be a better choice once you have a reality disruptor. And then I guess you could... Yeah, you would probably just have 1 extra tag. Yeah, because your chances of getting 2 rift cascade emitters is pretty low. And it would also cost way more flux than this. So really, you'd probably still keep 1 tachyon lance with 1 rift cascade emitter, reality disruptor, particle driver, S-mod magazines. That would go pretty crazy. But I don't have S-mod magazines. So do I really want to do that? Becomes the question, right? Because right now, the main way that this deals damage is double plasma, double tachyon. What am I giving up here for the reality disruptor? It kind of throws the whole thing out of balance, doesn't it? As much as I like these. Which is a bit unfortunate. And reality disruptors are pretty good on paragons because they end up, thanks to the advanced targeting core, they have 1,000 or 2,000 range. And they just fly over the enemy fleet and disable everything. It's very cool. Maybe I should just get a fresh Paragon. Get my hands on a fresh one so I can do that. Or, wait, hold on. Which skill set do you have? Yeah, let's swap you. Because you have impact mitigation, so I'll drop resistant flux conduits. Get expanded magazines. Of course, don't need these. And then, yeah, it's not S-modded, sure. It's not S-modded, but it's still pretty good. I mean, these are Omega weapons. It might be worth using them even without... I mean, S-modded magazines is pretty crazy, but even without that, it's probably still going to be good. And then this one, I think I'll lean into the shock repeaters a bit more, because I have a bunch of those. Yeah. There we go. And then this one, if I'm going to do magazines, then it makes more sense to go with the burst PDs. Oh, right, and of course, antimatter SRMs. Now, this is some endgame stuff right here. Probably want to link those instead. There we go. And you can do the exact same thing. Bada bing, bada boom. Double antimatter SRM in the front, and then salamanders in the back. Which does make it a little bit tempting to go with, like... Yeah, I have 4 of these as well. No shot. That happens to be the exact right number that I could do this. Ain't that just convenient, how I have exactly the right number? Well, the exact right number of everything except for volatile particle drivers, because for some reason the game didn't give me... It's almost perfect, except for this one little thing. Now, when it comes to medium weapons, not very impressed by the Ripped Beam, not very impressed by Disintegrator, although it could kind of work on like an Eagle. You put that in one of the energy slots, and it's got 700 base range, which is... You think of it kind of like breach missiles, right? Because it's got that burn effect that applies to armor. So it's not really anti-shield, it's not anti-hull, it's specifically anti-armor. But it can go into a medium energy slot and has 700 range. So for the Eagle, that would actually be pretty decent. Even though the weapon itself is kind of mediocre. Pair that up with, like... Yeah, you could put this in the middle medium energy slot and then have 2 IR auto lances beside it. And then you can put right, and then the ballistic slots in the front, you can go kinetics. And the result would be pretty decent. Like, I think the Eagle has the right weapon slots to take advantage of that. But for the most part, not really worth using. See, I would really rather have antimatter blasters than rift lances on you guys. I've already got mini pulsers on these. Speaking of which, Typhoon time. And can I afford to? Yes, but that would take all my cash. And I don't really need to. Yeah, let's do it. Can I afford you as well? No, I can't. So be it. Is there really any other Omega weapons that I want to use? I've got a single mini pulsar, but that's not... Yeah, I don't think so. What about you fellows? Yeah, I don't really... I mean, using the Cryflamer could be interesting, but you kind of want to do like advanced optics with escort package so that it gets decent range. Which then kind of defeats... going Cryoflamer kind of defeats the purpose. I'd be pretty cool if I was doing a non-escort variant. And yeah, I would not consider disintegrators. Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of it. Yeah. Rift lances might be interesting on these, though. Those might be interesting. Although a bit expensive, wouldn't it? That's unfortunate. Yeah, I think what I want to do... I do have a few story points, but I'll hold on to those for now. I'm going to go get more by fighting some remnants. Then I'm going to S-mod escort package. I think I'm going to switch these over to burst PDs. I'm not at all happy with the mining lasers so far. Although the flux is starting to look a bit rough, with only 11 in each. And then after I S-mod escort package, I want to get advanced optics, which is... Oh, that's partly because you've got faulty power grid. Yeah, that's not good. Alright, that's not quite as rough. Yeah, but I'm still going to need to take off 3 more ordnance points to fit advanced optics once I S-mod that. Yeah, maybe I'll stick to the mining lasers just because it's so cheap. As much as I don't really like that. It does... Yeah, we'll just stick to that for now. Okay. We're going to try re-rolling your skill. That's what we're going to do with this story point. Do we want to make you aggressive? Nah, you're fine. You're fine and steady. Yay! Look at that. You did, in fact, get the skill. Good job. Alright, I still got to pay for a lot of elite skills, don't I? Yeah, that's another thing I need to get story points for. Right now, we're in the story point grind part of the game, where if you don't save up all your points specifically, knowing exactly what you want from the start, and you don't lose any, like losing your ships, which of course I would never do, but if you did, hypothetically, then you get to this stage of the game and now you need to start actually fighting, you need to start picking fights specifically so you can earn story points, so you can actually finish off your ships. Alright, if I take these... No, that was the... No. I want to take these, not... What am I doing? Forgot to hit the number. Then we end up in this situation where I've got 17,000. Yeah, so I could do... Because I need 25,000. I could do that. I just need more transplutonics. So drop those off. Drop all this stuff off. A little bit of extra fuel. And nicely, it does produce 500 every once in a while, thanks to the way station. So there is that. Every time I come back, I'll get another 500, but I need another 2,500. And then that'll be done. We can get that active. That'll be very cool. Okay, first things first. Bounty. Yeah, we're not going to get around to that one. It is worth big cash, too, so that's convenient. And I guess once I get the cash from this mission, I can go around the core worlds just buying materials. And that will be enough. We're also about to roll up a colony crisis. Wait, it doesn't... I thought it would roll it up at 425. Is it 525 or... Remember when the event... Oh, no, it's 500. Okay. When progress reaches 500 points, it'll tell me. One of these three. If it ends up being the hegemony, I'll probably re-roll it by destroying some fleets to drop it below 500 points and then having it go back up. Because I would rather deal with either one of these first and more or less push the AI inspections to the last. But that's really all the crises that are left, is those three crises. Then we've got the unique bounty that we're getting closer and closer to unlocking. And then we've got the Hypershunt tab. And at that point, this series has basically covered all the important... It's covered the vast majority of vanilla content, especially endgame content. I guess I could farm Ordos for a few hours or survey the entire sector, but that would get a little repetitive. Although, to be fair, fighting Ordos a bunch, maybe not for hours, but at least fighting a few more Ordos is a good example of how to fight late-game enemies. Oh, right, why am I going slow? I was playing in a different save file, and I forgot. In this one, I have S-modded shields. I don't need to worry about it. But yeah, it would be a good example of how to actually handle different compositions of remnant fleets, whether they've got... Right, so it doesn't matter whether they've got a ton of, like, Apexes, a ton of cruisers, a ton of destroyers. Like, they've got 3 Radiants, they've got 3 what's the other one? Novas. Well, it's nice that there's a gate here. That's going to make travel easier when I'm going back. So that may be worth doing. Which, to be fair, I'm doing that right now. I am fighting remnants as is. Maybe if we listen carefully. You know, maybe if we listen carefully, we can hear them. But you know what would be nice? Is if I could just go... Oh. Huh? I was about to say, if we could go, like, Dora the Explorer, and I can be like, hey, guys, can you help me find the fleet? Winisks. I think Winsky's a better name, to be honest. I guess this is a bounty? I didn't even know about this. Okay. I guess we'll just kill you. I mean, this is not even... Guys, why couldn't you just be the Remnant Fleet? I showed up here to kill the Remnant Fleet, and now I've got to deal with this tiny little thing. You got a small fleet. My fleet is large. Well, my fleet's not even 240 yet, but my fleet is much larger than yours. Alright, and that's just talking size. We're not even talking quality. Now get over here. Oh, it actually managed to shoot that down, huh? Oh well. Yep, they're all over there. Alright. Yeah, Executors can... At least Deserter Executors can actually be pretty threatening, because they stack up a ton of beams, along with high energy focus. And those locusts, they can actually be pretty threatening, compared to the, you know, the Lion of Sindria's special forces, who of course bring Giga Cannons that just end up being way less threatening. Although that might just be because Giga Cannons are pretty mediocre. Yeah, I mean, look at that soft flux. Okay, I've really got to S-mod the... Really got to S-mod some stuff onto you guys. Alright, let's get out of here. Skedaddle. What? Seriously? That's gotta be... There's gotta be some way to program the AI that just stops that from happening. I don't know what it is, but there's gotta be a way. Alright, what do we got? Yeah, my Cryoblaster can't get through the locusts, unfortunately. There's too many projectiles. I am behind the one, but unfortunately the other one's pointing right at me, so let's get out of there. We can just get around like this. There we go. So the torpedo opens up a hole in the armor, and the cryoblaster finishes the job. Simple as that. You know, when the locusts aren't in the way. So the AI killed that by itself. Very cool. Yeah, you basically didn't participate in the battle. Go kill that. And what's even left? Yeah, just that. Easy. Okay. You don't even have an officer. What are you doing out here? Good night. Is there anybody left? Yeah, there's still that thing. We'll let him go. Except I'm going to pursue him. There we go. That's a lot faster than waiting for the Omen to kill it in actual combat. Okay, but that's not really what I was looking for. So let's keep searching. I'm going to go up here and then cut down across this way. Now listen closely, everyone. You've got to... I need your help to find the fleet. Can you say fleet in Spanish? Very good. No, they're not here. Alright, let's see how you're doing. Well, you're in the positive. That's cool. Stability is still garbage, but we're fixing that, you know. These 3 buildings will definitely help. Yeah, there's nothing else to build currently. So, going with farming should mean that when we reach the next size, it should mean that we get Luddic majority, which will then massively boost population growth, and kind of speed run all the way to size 6. Probably, I think I'll go with tech mining second, and then mining third. No, not mining. Oh, wait, no, because I want to use right, so I would probably have to go with light industry, then commerce, and then once we hit size 6, then I can build tech mining, which will probably turn off the Luddic majority. And I'll just let the tech mining run for a few months. And then I'll switch over to regular mining for all of this. Because I do need some organics. I don't want to be importing it from other factions. And they're probably... Yeah, every time I've come to a nebula for one of these bounties, they've been orbiting at like a jump point or something. So it's probably not... If I want to do this as quickly as possible, it's probably best to just go to the jump points. But if I'm here, I do want to survey the planets anyways. You know, it just gives a nice sense of completion. Even though I'm not colonizing any of this, and the survey data is not worth that much. Yeah, they're not here. Let's take the shortcut to the gas giant. Hey, a research station. That's pretty cool. What do you got for me? I could build a Pegasus, which, speaking of the Pegasus, it's very impressive how it turned out. Somehow they made a battleship with 4 large missiles and fast missile racks, and it really doesn't feel overpowered. You know, originally when it first came out, it was overpowered, but that's because it had, like, you know, 0.6 shield efficiency on top of, God, it had, like, a 50 top speed and 0.6 shield efficiency, and then they tried to nerf it by making the front missile mounts into mediums, which didn't make sense. It made sense, it just looked really weird. And also, the whole point of the Pegasus being a missile battleship was that it was supposed to have more missiles than the Conquest. And if you change those ones to missile mounts, then it has the same missiles as the Conquest, which kind of defeats the point. Right? The concept of a missile battlecruiser with 4 large missiles is really cool. It's just that they overtuned some of the other stats. And once they nerfed those stats, and then also adjusted a lot of the large missiles, you know, that's partly why we got a bunch of Squall and Hurricane adjustments, which, to be fair, were totally deserved. Squalls are still very good. Hurricanes, not as good, but you can definitely make use of them. Yeah, those adjustments were deserved. And the end result is that it kind of feels fine. It feels like it's in a pretty good place for what it is. Alright, there's our bounty, and it was in fact orbiting the last jump point. 200% bonus XP, easy. Now hopefully I don't mess up because of my nuke, because now I've got to press the numbers on the keyboard. It still feels a little bit awkward hitting 1 and 2 over there. But most players play that way, so I'll get used to it. It'll be fine. I am sure. Probably should have had... Yeah, should have done that from the start. So it looks like they're kind of splitting up. It's a decent number going to each side, but most... Looks like there's a bunch of them just going straight down the middle, too. I'm just going to make sure we capture this point. Because I want to get my other ship on the field. Oh, well, we already got it. Okay, perfect. I'm seeing a lot of destroyers in the middle. Probably don't want you capturing points because you're going to die. Instead... Escort order has a bit too short of a leash, so I guess I'll leave you to your own devices. Not going to do that just yet. Put you on search and destroy. Okay. Excellent. Killing remnant frigates is just so much easier with enemy pulsars. Oh, thanks for the entropy amplifier. Very appreciated. And I missed the second shot, but it doesn't matter. Look at that. Yeah, and see, here's where all the big guys are. But that's okay. We've got our own big guys. Speaking of... Bruh, really? You rammed me into your teammate. Easy. Yeah, and that's just gonna demolish that. I don't know what this afflictor... Oh, my shield wasn't up. Why was my shield not up? I just kind of went in assuming my shield was already up, but the AI had it down for some reason. I mean, I'm fine. It was just a frigate explosion. It's just a little scratch, you know, it's a flesh wound. I mean, look at this. Just completely not a chance for them. Man, it just kills them so quickly. And some people think that S-modding magazines for just too many pulsars isn't worth it. But my experience has been, hey, this works really well. Just demolish them. Actually, some people have had weird comments about, like, small weapon. What I'm thinking of is ballistic rangefinder on the Legion. I have seen some people be like, what? You can't use ballistic rangefinder and then only put on, like, 6 railguns? That's a waste of ordnance points. You only have 6 railguns taking advantage of it. It's like, what? Have you tried it? Have you never tried this before? A Legion with 6 railguns and a ballistic rangefinder does really well. Ooh, that's not good. Hello. And wait. Yep, shields are up. Uh-huh. Yeah, he's still turning around. Can I get my engines back, please? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Now, this is where it would be nice to have elite combat endurance, but kind of not worth it when you have Neuralink, and the combat readiness bonus only applies to the first ship and not the second ship. Makes it a bit lame. It is what it is. Yeah, you can kind of see. I mean, Omega weapons, level 7 officers. Yeah, the Paragons are just going to go demolish everything. I mean, the Pirate Afflictor, even if the Pirate Afflictor itself doesn't do too much damage, just using its system on the enemy, boosting the damage of teammates, real nice. Omens, of course, fantastic. Yes, that's right. Pay attention to me and not the Paragon. Excellent. There will be no issues, I'm sure. Just you know, take advantage of the AI with its target prioritization not always being the smartest. Simple as that. Bruh. Really? You're charging 1v1 against an Apex at like maxed out flux. Please. Boom. Excellent. Yeah, you're still offline. But hey, look at that. All that's left is this one Apex. And you know what? I'll just have both of my flagships retreat because right now they're very low. No! That's not retreating. Get out of the way. Yeah, just... there we go. Just have them retreat so they don't accidentally die at the last minute. I mean, with this many missiles, right, if you go with like 4 antimatter SRMs and a couple of resonators, it starts to make sense to put like... Normally you don't really care for missile specialization on a Paragon, but especially now that it also boosts the recharge rate for missile weapons, for the Omega weapons. If you get 6 of them on the ship, it starts to actually make sense. And look at that. 0 losses. We didn't even lose anybody. Gunnery implants, I believe that's what I wanted, yeah? Yeah. Elite skills. We gained a ton of story points from that one. No losses, and a ton of story points. That's what an endgame fleet does for you, baby. Simple as. Alright, so this should make your survivability a lot better. You've been driving around without the reduced cooldown on your face cloak. That's where you take a lot of damage from, and gunnery implants for more ECM. Excellent. Okay. And with those remaining points, it's 6, so I can put 5 into the Omens and still have 1 left over for emergencies. Excellent. And we're right next to the gate, so we can get right out of here. That's what I like to see. You know, I actually have no idea where transphotonics are mostly produced in the sector. I should probably have a look at that because I do need to buy a bunch of them. I've got regular metals. That's not quite what I'm looking for. Do you guys produce transphotonics? I'm really dying to know. Alright, gotta keep that on so I don't get harassed by patrols. Oh wait, never mind, I've gotta keep it off because we're hostile with them right now. I had that backwards. Don't need that many heavy machinery. That'll do. You guys can have those. We'll give the pirates some Ceresas and Kopeshes. That's fine. Also, I could probably just start selling the weapons that I find, because I'm not going to need any of these. Not going to be using any of them. Alright, let's head right on over. I probably just clicked on one of the mirrors, if I had to guess. I feel like I clicked on one of the mirrors and not the planet itself. It's honestly a bit annoying that those mirrors you can even right-click on them. At least for mirrors that you find out in non-core worlds, you may want to do that, but for these mirrors specifically... Okay, good, I actually clicked on the station. But for these mirrors specifically, it's kind of annoying when you show up and you find out, oh, I clicked on a mirror. It's like nobody is pathing to these mirrors specifically and not the planet itself. Right? If you're pathing towards those mirrors, it was an accident. Plain and simple. And that's true every single time. Okay, so we can finally give you guys this. Well, that, or I could go with high-resolution sensors. How much bonus XP do I have left? 12 million. So I'm not really worried about that running out. At least not for now. Still, they're not dying. So getting extra visual range would honestly be nice right now. Bada bing, bada boom. So now, we finally have those active. All that's left is another 5 for the Flux Coil adjuncts, and then I'll get 4 vents. Flux stats will be better. Then I need another 5 for the ECCM package, although that one's not too important, really. I can finally repair you. I'm going to need 2 for you guys, and then that covers all my combat. Well, then of course I still got to get some elite skills. You've got 0, you've got 0. You've got 2. I think you guys all have... He's got 2, and then a lot of you have 1. Yeah. So I need like 4 story points for the elite skills there. And then... So that's another 10 between 2 for each of you. No, that's 8. That's how math works. Yeah. It's 8 more story points for the elite skills. Another 5 for the Flux Coil adjuncts. So we still got work to do. Now, the change that they made where bonus XP instead of... Yeah, after reaching maximum level, bonus experience quadruples your experience gain instead of doubling it. That was a good change. That was a very good change. Because before, it would just take so damn long. And you'd just have a green bar forever. Now, you can actually use up your bonus XP and finally get all those damn story points. Yeah. Alright, let's just get another mission. Do you have any work for me? Sensitive matter. Is this it? No. Bounty docket. Let's try this. What have you got here? Yep, that's a big old fleet. Challenging target, 940,000. Yeah, this one's like double the other one. I'm guessing they've got like level 7 officers and S mods on everything. Upwards of 5 other ships of lesser significance. Yeah. So it's not a super big fleet. Right? It's not like they're just going to come... Yeah, this is a quality fleet over a quantity fleet, where the other one would have a ton of low-quality ships that you would just burn through. A meat grinder. This one, they're going to be stronger. But I think that we're still going to be fine. Soon. Soon we will have it. Right, and this place does not have transphotonics. No. We're going to head over to Kalan. Please have transphotonics. Yeah, okay. Ah, there it is. I knew somebody wanted to... At some point, somebody's going to come stop me. Okay, so you guys do have transphotonics. Where's the best place to buy? Chico Mostok. Okay. I do need a lot of them, so I'll just buy them here. I'll head over to Chico. By there. And then we're going to use the gate system to go close to our bounty. Go pick that up. And then we can go straight back home. And at that point, hopefully Chico Monster just has enough. That's what I'm hoping for. And then we can go activate the Hypershunt tap. This is getting close, but it's not quite there. Yeah, don't worry, little smuggler. I'm not bothering you. You don't have anything of interest to me. You're too small. Maybe if you were more successful... I am tempted to just buy more freighters. That would help. Yeah, it's only got 500, dang. Like, I produce 500 myself easily. Well, it's another step closer. The thing is, I don't want to be lugging these things around. So I think I'll pass. Well, if I just slap on... It's true, if I just slap on augmented dry field and efficiency overhaul, that should be fine. Just like that. No, I want efficiency overhaul. That's what I'm looking for. Although the reduced sensor I'm not worried about sensor profile right now. I'm a big fleet. I eat smaller fleets for breakfast. All right? If I've got my transponder on, it's because they need to be afraid of me, not the other way around. All right, this is real close. That's perfect. Yeah, and pretty soon I'll resign my Tritachium commission again. Although I wonder, do you get faster does relations go up faster with contacts if you're commissioned by the same faction? That would be interesting. I don't think that's the case, though. And of course, this is actually one of my colonies. Now in the negative, because stability is 2. Why did it go down from 3 to 2? What happened? Oh, maybe it's just Freeport was only at -2, and now it's increased to -3. That might be the case. Might be worth just putting story points into this place to increase stability, honestly. It's currently a bit whack. Now, that being said, I am going to go put an Alpha Core, now that I've got an extra one lying around. Could put an Alpha Core in the spaceport. Get that extra accessibility. Yeah, decivilized subpopulation is rough. But I really don't want to stay at 2 stability for too long. If only this would finish faster. But yeah, this is pretty bad. I don't think I have any administrators aside from you. I could maybe hire one. And that's an officer. After all the random administrators are fired, I may want to hire one to manage this world, so I can get the +2 stability bonus on the other one. Honestly, that's probably a good idea. I'll just have to do that after I get back. Yeah, it's all the way up here. Okay. Let's get going. There is a nice, convenient slipstream, too. Look at that. Let's turn this off. Makes it easier to stay in the slipstream. We are going in the right direction, aren't we? It's going to go off to the right by the looks of it. Yeah, I'll just hop off the slip inside here. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Storms are basically just speed boosts at this point of the game. They are free speed boosts. Although it can definitely be annoying when you end up in a situation where you get hit by a storm and you're trying to slow down so you don't get hit by the next storm. But because the last storm hit you, you're going too fast and can't stop. And there's another gate. Damn, alright. I'm just getting lucky with every... The missions that I'm doing, I'm just finding gates in the system I'm going to. That's pretty convenient. This is making life a lot easier. Alright, sensor array, perfect. That should make it easier to find these... guys, because they... has unexplored route. Oh, interesting. So, I have been here before. Either that, or I got survey data from like a derelict or something. That's possible. No, I think I've been here before. It's not bad. Yeah, you're not the fleet I'm looking for, even though you are hostile. Supply cache. Gimme. It's not that many transbotonics, but I'll take it. So they weren't at either of the jump points this time. Yeah, I've not surveyed this. Okay. Let's go over here. Are they at the gate? That would be weird. I don't think that's normal. Alright, that's finally a little bit of stability. This should... I mean, once we finish all of these, it'll be up at 5. And then they won't be hurting our income anymore. So that'll be nice. I'm in the right system. Okay. I just don't know where they are. They're somewhere. You know, it's just one of those days where you've just got to circle the entire system, and eventually you'll find them. $83 days left. Yeah, we're fine. What's this? I mean, it's like $1 million in cash for this fleet. And it's apparently not even that big of a fleet. For that, you know what? Circling around ain't that bad, really. I think it's like $2 million for the special bounty. You know, the unique... It's the hegemony. That's the least interesting of these options, really. Oh yeah, no wonder... That's right, I was like, why is it so much slower? I thought it might be because a lot of factions have dropped out of the competition, but it's more like because High Command is cutting the progress in half. Which, to be fair, is plus 23 a month is still pretty decent progress. Are they close to the sun, maybe? Are they basking in its glorious radiance? Is Solaire the captain of their fleet? That might be the answer. Well, I'll take these supply caches for now. No, that is not the answer. Are they... Did they spawn near one of the jump points? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Of course, the answer is yes. The answer is always yes. You need to be in the system for a few months, for like a few days, and then they'll just spawn near one of the jump points. That seems to be pretty consistently what's happening. If that's just a coincidence, that would be very funny. And yeah, small fleet. Very capital heavy, which is... I mean, even if their capitals could take on my capitals in a 1 versus 1, which they won't because my capitals have also got triple S mod level 7 officers with... But I've also got the advantage of Omega weapons. But even setting all of that aside, if my capitals were weaker than their capitals, I'm still pretty confident I would win this because... Like, how do they even... Like, I've got 5 Omens, and I've got Medusas and an Afflictor. So I can easily... Like, what have you got? You've got a couple Destroyers and a Centurion. I can easily flank you, and then you're screwed. Like, this isn't a... Alright, let's just... Oh, we're only getting 5% bonus XP too, so the... Yeah, the game's not crazy about their fleets either. Where is he? Oh, he's there. I was like, I can't find the Afflictor. Did he just... He phased so good, he stopped existing. I mean, that's what happens when... maybe that's just part of the... of getting, you know, elite phase mastery and phase quill tuning, is your phase ship gets so good that it stops showing up on the intel screen here. That's how good he is. So it takes a true master to achieve that level of invisibility. So yeah, we've got a couple of things over here. We want both of you guys over here. I kind of want you over here as well. The Omens and the Afflictor can take care of this stuff. Alright. Storm Needler. Interesting choice. Storm Needler plus Light Needler. I can tell you're a big fan of Needlers. Yeah, bye-bye. So... Omen destroyed. What? Where? How? When? It must be up here because there was two over here. No, because the other one's fighting this guy, I think. Which, yeah, there was no way it would be over here. Yeah, it must have died to one of the, must have died to one of the capital ships. Speaking of, I don't really need to worry about getting flanked, so you guys can just do that. Yeah, you don't really need to be... Don't really need escorts if I'm not worried about getting flanked. But yeah, it must have died to one of these things. Is that it? Let's see. I see triple Tachyon Lance. If I had to name a suspect for what happened here, it would be the triple Tachyon Lance. Yeah. Alright, mystery solved. And that's a lot of squalls, and they've got torpedoes in the front, squalls. It's kind of threatening. You know, if I didn't have paragons, it would be threatening. You do that, you do that. Didn't they have a champion, or did we already... Did we just kill that already, and I didn't notice? I guess so, because I don't see it anywhere. That would be kind of pathetic if true. Yeah, so that's dead. You can take the sensor jammer. So we've got 8% on our side, and they've got 12. A lot of their BCM is coming from the point, the capture point. Yeah, I don't really want to fight both of you at the same time. I'll pass. But I can get your attention to face the wrong way. That's, brilliant strategy, as always. Yeah, they are really lacking in, escorts on their side. Don't be that guy who forgets to bring escorts. Although, to be fair, there are definitely some builds you can do where you just stack up like 4 onslaughts. And then with the right loadouts, they don't really get flanked that much anyways. People definitely have done that. Yeah, this is kind of a joke. I can't believe this is actually worth more than the remnants. I mean, sure, they've got S mods, but quantity. I feel like maybe the costs there should have been reversed. Now there's the champion. There you are. Alright, let's get behind you. Cyclones ain't doing you so much good now, are they? Oh wow, the dual flak actually shot both of those down. Well, your armor's still not going to last very long. And then your hull is going to vanish. Well, to be fair, they did actually kill... Is there any enemies? Oh, there's... Supply ships are just... Yeah. It's doing this because... Basically, if the game thinks that it's going to bug out, then it deploys all of these. This sometimes happens as a safety measure because the thing is, if they have a bunch of supply ships and then they don't, and the enemy does not decide to retreat, then you just get stuck in a state where the battle never ends, even though their enemy's not deploying anything. That can happen. So sometimes they'll just deploy all of their... So basically, as a backup safety measure, if earlier triggers don't work, they forced the AI to deploy all their supply ships, which is why you sometimes see that happen. Bro, I just killed a much better fleet than you, right in front of you, and you're still coming for me, aren't you? Yeah, of course. Of course you are. Uh-huh. Yup. So we're not going to deploy that. I'm going to deploy those. We're just going to do this. Oh, man. I mean, the last one, I was complaining about it not being strong enough, but to be fair, they did kill one Omen, which is more than I can say for the Remnant fleet. So if we're just talking about results, I guess they were a little bit harder. But in practice, the Omen died because of a specific loadout with triple tachyon on the Paragon. Which, yeah, that doesn't really come down to difficulty, that comes down more to chance. Alright, get over here. Yeah, the AI loves putting paladins on champions, even though it just doesn't really make sense. Because what I've heard is that Alex designed the champion to make paladins more of an interesting choice for players. But the problem with that is the way that the paladin is designed actually doesn't do that. It makes the paladin a nonsensical choice. If that was his goal, I really don't think he succeeded there. I mean, why would you give it high energy focus and a large energy turret if you didn't want people to use high energy focus with a large energy turret? Like really, that... What can I say? What can I say? Like, look at this setup. High energy focus is boosting what? 2 ion cannons, an IR pulse laser, and the paladin. That's a very powerful system, and it's being used to very little effect. Like, of course you would want, like, a tachyon lance or something in that slot. You wouldn't want a paladin, specifically because you gave it high energy focus. That seems like something went wrong in the design process there. Although I have been working on a little mod ship, a little cruiser with 2 energy turrets. Well, what I've designed so far is it has a large energy hardpoint and a large energy turret. And then it's got 2 like medium energy hardpoints next to the large energy hardpoint. And basically, just what I did is the large energy turret is the only turret on the ship. All the other weapons are hardpoints. And so if you want point defense, you've got a couple of options. You can go with fighters with defensive targeting array, or you can use a paladin. And a lot of the time, in testing, I found that paladin is really the best choice because the ship also just doesn't have enough flux stats to support 2 large energy offensive weapons. So it doesn't have the flux stats to support those weapons. And the large energy slot is the only turret. And the result is that it ends up using a paladin, and it makes the paladin look really good. That ends up being the best choice. So you definitely can design ships that make better use of the paladin. I don't know, maybe... And the problem is, of course, that the sprite right now is just The sprite right now is just like a big blob of color. So I'm not going to be putting that out, but, you know, maybe once I get around to trying and making a half-decent sprite, I might upload that. Although uploading just a single ship is a bit... I mean, I guess I could start there. I could just be like, hey, this is a mod pack that I'm working on, and it only has one ship right now, but I'll add more if I have more ideas. That could be... yeah, that's probably the direction I'll go. Okay, so gate. That's what I'm looking for. Oh wait, there's a gate in the system, isn't there? That's right. Yeah, okay, I must have gotten this from... After talking about whether or not I got this from, like, derelict info, I must have, because if I had actually been to the system, then I would have known that there was a gate here. And I didn't. Pretty sure when I was in the gates tab, nothing popped up here. Not even the inactive gate, so yeah. Okay. I guess we're going home. 2 million credits in the bank. Gonna buy more transplutonics. We're almost there. Getting close. Alright, is there any hostile fleets that I can go blow up? Hey, look, we've got Mercantile. Bingus Domain Mercantile Convoy. And there's a Bingus Domain a detachment. Double Conquest, Double Falcon, Double Sunder. Wait, they just have 2 of everything. I mean, one of them's a Pirate Falcon, but shh, it's the same ship. They've got 2 of everything. Beautiful. And it's even got a whole 2 stars difficulty rating for my fleet. Wow. Incredible. 2 story points. Okay. Yeah, I'll just S-mod this. So one of you gets that. Oh, I want to keep it at 10,000. That's such a nice, neat number. 10,000. Okay. We'll move those to the bottom. And just like that. Alright. Looking pretty good. Then, what we need is to buy transplutonics. Only got 360, unfortunately. Hold on, I'm going to sell the metals because we don't need those. Also going to sell a bunch of this stuff. And we'll just toss these in storage. Another missile blueprint package. Okay. Stockpiles need fuel. Yes, sir. And we're close. We're close. We're so close. I should be going to all of my colonies, because as long as they have way stations, they should be selling transplutonics. Yeah. You want to farm enough transplutonics? Just have more colonies. Put way stations on them. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's what I like to see. Okay. So from here... well, I do want to have like an excessive... having like an excessive amount of supplies at this point is fine. We've got... it means I have to come back less often. I'm carrying around a bunch of atlases. That's the right choice. 100%. Okay. And then... I guess we'll go see our buddy again. And then we'll hopefully... well, is there any fleets nearby that I can use to re-roll the crisis? It doesn't look like it. Oh, wait, there's one. It's already being... okay, so this megaport is finished. Now you got decent accessibility. Alright, I should be looking to hire an administrator if there's any available. Really? I'm getting more bonus XP from this than I got from that 900... yeah. Bonus XP does not seem to take into account things like S-mods, but when calculating the cost of that bounty, the money you make, then it definitely takes into account S-mods. Alright, what have we got? Kind of got a big mess. You know, they probably introduced the Grendel as a way so that Tritak isn't the only one with phase ships. You know, the Gremlin by it, like, you can't... You can't just jam in a bunch of gremlins and say, like, oh, look, the Hegemony has phase ships too. They're probably like, okay, hold on. Right now, Tritak is the only one with any phase ships, but they're already unique in that they're the high-tech faction. So making them... So, you know, maybe they shouldn't be hoarding all of the phase ships too. But currently, there's only one low-tech phase ship. So we'll add in another to sort of round things out. And you know what? It seems like the Grendel is pretty good, from what I've heard. Better than the Harbinger, for sure. Alright, disappear. Be gone. Where was I aiming that? Not really sure. Just do a little spin. Dang. If only the overload had ended slightly sooner. Alright, let's take off these. We'll take these off, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and coerce our fleet into surrounding them. Something like that. Oh, the only problem is that they're going to try to go straight through, aren't they? Yeah, no. This is fine. So what you've got, 4 Typhoons. Let's get out before we overload this time. Excellent. Okay, well, let's drop that. Yeah, I think we're in a pretty good position. Right click just too late. Oh well. I mean, we're fine. Look at that. Yeah, these fights are just easy at this point. There's not too much to say about it. Unfortunately, now maybe once I get to the 3rd AI inspection, it'll end up being interesting. Maybe they'll throw in some S-mods on those. I haven't seen what it looks like yet, so can't say for sure. But I assume that the final fleet is going to actually be like a challenging one. But until that point, the Hegemony just... This fleet is already too strong for most stuff in the game. When you're aiming for this special, unique once per save file bounty, like that is a threshold that is just so far beyond anything else in the game. Yeah, we'll pursue them. For sure. Okay. What have we got? It's another story point. Did that re-roll it? Yes. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted. You know what, maybe I'll just drop these weapons off over here because this place has nothing. Yeah, let's go with that. And I've got another story point, so you can get escort package. What we're going to do is we're going to make this a template instead of doing it manually. Perfect. Alright, so now you guys are ready to do escorting. Let's actually, let's have a little look-see. Let's have a little peek at the range. Probably should have started in the Medusa instead of the other way around, but it's fine. Let's have a little peek. Look at that. Look at that light needler range. for a destroyer. And then if we look at these, yep. The light needlers go a little bit further, which is perfect because you want your... It's better to have your if your weapons are gonna mismatch, it's better to have the shields, the anti-shield stuff hit first rather than the anti-armor stuff. But I mean, they are just really close anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Just look at that range. Whew. That's pretty good. And of course, as you get away, you'll notice that it slowly starts shrinking. And hold on. Yeah, there we go. And you can see in the bottom corner down here, it'll, yeah, you can see the percentage. Telemetry quality, 60%, and then as we get closer, it goes up over to 200% because it's a destroyer with a capital. So you end up getting double the bonus. I mean, look at that. That's pretty good. So even in an escort position, these things can support really nicely. They've got systems expertise, phase skimmer. So if they get high on flux, they can skim, but they can jump behind the capital to safety. They've got 10,000 flux capacity, and it's 0.35 shields before you get the extra 20% from the S-mod bonus. And yes, the S-mod bonus is doubled, just like everything else for a destroyer when it's near capital. So this is improved by another 20%, which would put it down to 0.28 shield efficiency, I believe. Yeah, because it would multiply it by 0.8, so 0.28. Which is just ridiculous. I mean, 10,000 flux capacity, 0.28 efficiency. Whew. Plus, they've got really long range. So yeah, these should do just fine as escorts. Now I just need to get tons more story points to feed into my ships. And then once I've done that, then I can get a mercenary that I'm probably going to stick. I'm probably going to jam the mercenary into... Wait, what? Huh. I must have had 2 in storage. And then when I did the auto-fit, it put them back there. Alright. And then once I've got the mercenary, I'm probably going to jam it into a Hyperion as my last chip. Yeah. And it seems about right. Okay, let's get out of here. Officer promotion. That would have been a lot useful earlier in the game when I was constantly complaining about not having enough officers, but at this stage of the game, can't say that I need that. I've already got 10 officers. I think I'm good. Yeah, just a couple of officers. No, I want to use the gates. Now it might be nice to have like some way to have pathing include the gates once you have the Janus device. That might be nice, but sometimes you do want to take the direct route to your location, and if it forces it to go through the gates when you right-click somewhere, that would become annoying. So then you'd have to have some kind of toggle between the one and the other, which that could be a bit messy. I'm not sure how to implement that in a clean way. Alright, yeah, I'm not really interested in any of this. Heart of the system, yeah. If it said orbiting a gate, then I might be interested. Alright, give us another big, interesting bounty. Big, beautiful bounties with big cash, big money. Bounty docket. 2. 530,000 credits for one of those. 710,000 credits for one of these. Yeah, I'll just do another one of these. And I'll head back over to Chico Maztok, because apparently they have transplutonics. And hopefully when I get back to my colonies, they'll have another 500 each. Which will then bring me... And they're probably not going to have 500, because that's what it is when it's fully maxed out. And since I just bought them, they have to restore their stockpiles. So it'll probably be like 300 each or something. But if I can get a bunch from Chico Maztok, and then I can get 300 from each of my colonies, that's going to add up to the remaining ones. So far, there is going to be a lot of interesting stuff in this. And I re-rolled. Alright. Okay. So I re-rolled back into the same crisis. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted. That's a lie. That's not what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay. Well, I mean, there's a few interesting things going on in this video. I'm not actually sure what I'm going to focus on. Probably, you know, it's probably going to be activating the Hypershunt. Probably going to focus on that. Although these bounties are pretty big and pretty interesting. Actually, if I can get this much from... Let's see, do you guys also have some? If you do, that'll be real convenient. Because then I'll basically have enough. Let's see, Quaddle Bastion. What you got? No, you've got nothing. That's fine. It should be just fine. That should be a non-issue once I get back home. Okay. So it was somewhere around here, right? Yeah, it's right next door. Of course. Of course. Now that we've got gates kind of active all over the sector, travel is a lot easier. Let's see. Yeah, there's a... Please be the fleet that I'm looking for, and not just... No, it's just a bunch of random ones. It's just a bunch of random medium difficulty fleets. Yeah. Not really what I'm looking for. Alright, let's go activate some stuff. Let's go activate all of this domain era tech. Then we can get... I guess I'll survey some planets. Yeah, because it's a medium difficulty. Oh, well, there we go. I was about to say it's going to be hard to find them because there's going to be all of these guys providing, basically. They're going to show up as blue triangles, which is going to end up confusing me, but no. They're right here. No radiance. They've got 2 apexes. It looks like these bounty fleets, they always have no... They don't have S mods, but they also don't have D mods. It's always a clean, pristine fleet with alpha cores in every ship. Still easy, though. 200% bonus XP? Nah. Oh, we'll hold off on that one for now. Okay, that's captured. Perfect. We can do that. Oh, we still haven't captured this. Waiting on that one. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, even though they've got alpha cores, they're still just going to lose to omens. Although Tempests do tend to be... Like, omens, they are really good. But just to be clear, there are other frigates that are worth using. Like, if you're looking for a frigate to support your capital ships, even without safety overrides, it turns out monitors are still really good. Shocker, I know. In fact, they're better than omens because they can save your capital ships from certain doom just by existing. Man, I love Novas. I love fighting Novas because they, instead of just having to beat them in a head-on flux war like everything, like most things in the game, they have a very wide open flank and they're very aggressive. There we go. Is it gone? No, it's just down here. where is it? Yeah, though, unfortunately, it is going to be able to turn fast enough that you can't just flank it by yourself. You need some teamwork to actually accomplish that. Alright, so we're going to hold off on that. Let them have it. Alright. I don't like this positioning. Let's not be here. Yeah, don't want to 1v1 that. I'll go hunt some frigates instead. Actually, I'll hunt this thing. These things are very vulnerable. And taking one out means taking some fighters off the field, which is nice. Gone. Okay. Get over here. Come on, overload. There we go. Yeah, much, much easier than trying to use antimatter blasters and sabos to hit their shields. Especially when the lumens, they see the sabos coming and then they use their phase skimmer to just flicker away. That can be an issue. Because you really need to fire your Reaper into its shield. I was gonna kill it anyways. Yeah, it's fine. We're not like... We are not starving for ammo in this battle, so it's not really a big deal. What the? Huh? Where'd all that damage come from? Did you just dive face first into a furnace? Like, what just happened? There we go. Teamwork between me and myself. Excellent. Yeah, even that works a lot easier with mini pulsars rather than sabos. I'm happy with this decision. I think it was the right call. Switching over to Reapers and mini pulsars. Yeah, that's like a single one. I think we can drop those escort orders now because we're just cleaning up what's left. Yeah. Alright, there's several cruisers bunched up over here. I think what I want to do is flank it using myself as bait. And this is not a good position to be in. But it did actually work, and the AI actually flanked it effectively. That's beautiful. That's what I like to see. The AI actually took advantage of the flanking maneuver. Perfect. Perfectly executed. Barely took any damage. That's awesome. And all that's left is a couple of these things. Yeah, so just keep in mind, Omega weapons are really good once you get your hands on them. And I think it's a nice touch that, like, the ballistic rangefinder gives more of a boost to hybrid weapons. Because there's a decent number of really strong hybrid weapons, like the Cryoblaster, that you get from Omega. I lost an omen again. That should probably stop happening. That is a loud vehicle. That should probably stop happening once, or at the very least it should happen a lot less once I actually get my hands on those last few, like S-mods, which... That gave me enough XP that I can do that. Getting these Flux Coil Adjuncts and Former Events should reduce the frequency that they die. But you should be okay accepting that you're going to lose one of them every other fight. It just happens. Frigates can, the AI can make a mistake. It'll have its shields down when it should have them up, and it just gets popped. So be it. We can easily afford, you can afford to restore a frigate. What you should be concerned about is if your capital ships are dying frequently. If you pick a difficult fight and one of them dies, but you win, that's not too bad. But if they're dying, frequently for these types of missions at this stage of the game, you might want to, you might have some holes in your strategy. All right, let's just get out of here. I don't really want to fight more of those guys. I had to get a ton of AI cores, and the AI inspection is coming. So why don't we greet them by just hanging up tons of Christmas lights? I mean, all the Christmas lights happen to be blue and spherical, and they have the word alpha painted on them, which is a bit weird, but, you know, it's just a nice festivities to welcome our friends at the hegemony. And nothing more. It is nothing else. Officer, don't ask too many questions. You're better off not knowing. If you know what's good for you, you won't ask questions, that is. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to deal with the inspection today, though. I think what I'm going to do... Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go get out of the slipstream, first of all. I'm going to go activate the Hypershunt, and that's going to be the end of it. And then the next... Then after I've done that, the next video is going to be dealing with the remaining crises, and... It's going... Actually, hold on. The thing is, if I want to deal with the crises as fast as possible, I actually want the hegemony to continue being part of it, because then I can spam AI cores to make the crisis meter go up faster. Although, to be fair, even after this AI inspection, there's still going to be a third one, which means that this strategy will still work. I can spam a bunch of AI cores, which should hopefully get me to the other two crises faster as well. And that will let me take care of all of that, hopefully, just in the next video, as well as the special bounty, which we should be getting pretty soon because our reputation is basically maxed out, and we're getting tons of very high-level bounties, as is. And that means that if everything goes according to plan, the next video will be the end of Bingus's adventure. He'll have done everything that he needed to do in life. And then that means I'll just start up a new playthrough, of course, with lots of mods. Oh boy, we're going to see mods on top of mods. Probably going to do the good old Hiver mod as sort of an enemy faction. Although there's other options too if you want like a boss faction that you have to beat. Like there's... I think it's in Talon Shipworks is the Legio Infernalis. That's another like boss faction. You know, there's multiple different options there. We will have to see what I end up cooking once I get to the kitchen. Okay, hold on. First of all, do you have transplutonics? Yes. Not as many as I would have liked, but we do have 5,000. Okay. Awesome. That is wonderful. I've got a bunch of alpha cores, so let's just start using them. Let's just toss them in. What does an alpha core even do for this thing? Increase another 1.5 ground. Sure. Why not? We'll just toss them in everything. Oh yeah. Alpha cores for everyone. And I'll drop off these Raspberry Pis while I'm at it. Confirm. Okay. I've got a few extra transplutonics that I don't need. Right. And so the next step is to grab these atlases, which I believe have... Yeah, they've got cargo holds rather than efficiency overhaul because that's what I'm going to want. I'm not dragging them around for a long time, so efficiency's not going to matter. I just want as much cargo as possible. Hey, look at that. I'm up at 22,000 anyway, so I'm almost there. So, this should work just fine. Is there a... Actually, is there a gate over there that I can use? Is there any gates nearby? Gates, gates, gates. No. Okay. I just got to drive there the old-fashioned way. That's fine. It's not too far. Man, that is so lazy. Transverse jumping when the jump point is right there. Nope, that ain't real. You know, we're sitting on a million credits that we can't really spend on anything. Oh wait, we can get this. There we go. There's some way to burn some cash. Star Battle. Oh wait, no, that's already a Star Fortress. What about you, Star Fortress? You're still building your station. I'll start upgrading it as soon as it's done. Yeah. And then what I'm going to want, up to 156% here. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, no cryo-arithmetic engine, but that's just how it is. You got fuel production, colony size 5. Oh, I guess I do want to wait for it to actually hit size 6. I don't want to stop at just size 5. Oh, well. Yeah, we'll just... We've got hazard pay going, so it's not like... There's not much else I can do aside from putting, like, story points to increase the speed here. By getting more accessibility. Yeah. We'll just have to wait for it to grow naturally, I guess. Maybe farm out more story points by doing more remnants. And you know what? Rather than farming red zones, it might actually be better. At least if you're trying to get as many alpha cores as possible, it might be better to just have a bunch of high importance contacts who give you those bounties, because if every ship in the remnant fleet has alpha cores, instead of having a mix of different cores, then the number of alpha cores you're going to get is going to be higher, obviously. Hey, hold on. Ah, that's why. It's like, why are you going to the outer jump point? It's because it's going to a different system. Alright, well, I'm actually not going there just yet, so that's a bit premature. So first things first, we're going to do is dump these into space, click on the cargo pods, put into a stable orbit. It's going to consume 100 supplies, that's fine. And they'll just hang out here for the next 440 days. Now, we go home, and we pick up the remaining stuff. Speaking of, let's not forget to use this. There we are. Shoot me forward. Close enough. I've never actually activated this thing. Or really used it before. I've never used a Hypershunt tap. So this is going to be interesting. Finally get to do this for once. Even though it doesn't really make a big difference, because I don't really need it. Again, it's right there. It's easy to forget because, you know, it depends on the time of year. Huh? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong button, that's why. I'm like, why can I do a slip search here? That's not slip search you're looking at. I can do a slip search over here, though. There we go. Okay. Let's get this puppy online. The moment of truth, really. Yeah, extra 50 supplies a day. Uh-huh. So this is finished. Upgrade that immediately. Finally up to 4 stability. That's nice. Another 60 days, it'll be up to 5. That'll be great. Alright, things are looking good. So many alpha cores. Alright, burn. Let's go as fast as we can, because we're burning so many supplies. And look at that. It is 20,000, and so I've got a lot extra, but that's fine. It allows a calling within 10 light years, so it still says 10, but I did change it to 15, so hopefully that works. Because the Hypershunt tap itself said 15. So hopefully this is just because that's what's written into like the text, and it's not actually drawing from the real number. And of course, I'm going to burn through a ton of supplies. Please. We're gonna... Yeah, we'll be fine. Yeah. And then this thing should start... Yeah, it's going to start pulling from the sun. It's going to be very pretty. And then it does... Once it's actually online, if you look carefully, you'll see like little ziggurat motes that float. There they are. Did you see that? It's a little purple mote. So that should be online. Which means we're going home. And then we can actually activate it. I mean, it's a crazy amount of difficulty you need to go through to actually make this work. First, not only do you need to beat the Tesseracts, it also needs to be within 10 light years of your colony. Then you also need to find a specific item, which you might not get. And then you also need 10 transplutonics. I mean, getting an extra industry slot on your worlds is a pretty big deal. So making it a bit challenging is kind of fair, but you know, it's just a bit much. Yeah, and it's not going to have enough transplutonics as is, of course, but we can in fact install it, and it is in fact demanding 10 units. Oh ho ho, hey, look at that. If I use the stockpiles, that temporarily lets us meet the demand. Well, maybe I should add more to the stockpile, shouldn't I? Well, what I should do is I'm going to put refining here, using that extra industry slot. And then I'll just do everything that I can to actually meet that demand domestically. Let's see, hold on. So first things first. Well, no, actually I want to put an alpha core there. So I'll take it out of... Yeah, this is probably like the least important. Take it out of there, go over here, manage colony, put it right here. So that'll reduce the demand down to 9. Awesome. So only need 9 transplutonics. And once this refinery is done, well, actually I can install I can just do this right now. Speaking of, I'm going to want another alpha core. It's so convenient how these two are right next to each other. It's making this nice and quick. And I'll take it out of the other that boosts ground defenses, because that's not going to matter. And then we can slap that right in here. Assign AI core. Boom. Okay. And then you get +1 from this. These give another +4. And then I think I'm going to need to make improvements. Although once it hits size 6, I won't need any improvements. Once it at size 6 with a core here, alpha core here, synchrotron core, and industrial planning, this refinery should have an output of 9, and this will have a demand of 9. And so it'll meet its own demand domestically, which means that don't have to worry about a -5 stability penalty from shipping disruptions. And then we'll mine transplutonics here locally once we hit size 6 and get that 5th industry slot. So that can't be disrupted. So the Hypershunt tap will always be active. And that will just be fine and dandy. Alright, well, I did say this is where I would end it. So that's about it. See ya.